So all types of instabilities will be there on this slope if you cut it at a steeper angle. Many slopes around the world are designed, not designed, are excavated, cut at those steep angles without giving a damn to the analysis. That's how you have problems. That's why you have problems. Some of the areas in the world, in fact, a couple of years back, I think it was exactly 2 years back, University of, if I remember correctly, you can always Google, which compiled the data of landslides that kill people, fatal landslides from around the world. And they flagged certain areas. A couple of those areas actually lied in my country, Western Ghats, and I think part of the Himalayas, and many other places in the world, which have high number of landslides that are killing people. Now, many of these slopes are engineered slopes, which means engineered is a polished word. They are the slopes which the humans cut to create roads, to create whatever. An engineered slope must be a properly engineered, designed slope. Why would it kill people? Why should engineered slope kill people if you have designed them properly? They kill people because you don't know what you're doing. In one of the presentations which I very fondly include in my courses on tunneling, in which I talk about the story of rock mechanics. And there was a time, 1960s, late 1950s, when there were a number of catastrophic failures happening. And during those days, in fact, much before that, 1936, the great geotechnical engineer called Carl Terzaghi, he was presiding over the International Congress of Soil Mechanics and Foundation Engineering, I think 1936. And in his speech, he said those famous words: "We do not have the ability to predict the consequences of our own efforts. What we are doing," he was talking from an engineering point of view, the tunnels that we are doing, the slopes that we are cutting, he was actually referring to the number of failures during the construction of that legendary Panama Canal project, in which lots of slopes were cut. More than 60 major slides were reported. We do not have the ability to predict the consequences of our own efforts. We don't know what we are doing. And that is why the engineered slopes kill people. They should not. And here, right on your screen, you see why they kill people. If you cut this slope, it's a real, it's from a real data. Of course, it's from mining, but if you are creating a civil engineering slope there and cutting at steep angle without carrying out any kinematic analysis or without carrying out any proper slope stability, you will kill people. All sorts of possibilities, failures are there. So it's just an example why we should take care and do this. The problem comes, imagine, and even in countries with resources, what happens? You have a long project being planned and designed and later on constructed, a long highway project, and a quite substantial part of it is passing through hilly areas. You have these slopes. Now, it's often not possible from resource point of view, from time constraints, from the constraints of the human resources and the money, to carry out detailed analysis along every meter of that slope, that highway. It's not often possible. So many stretches of the highways are not analyzed because of that reason also. So what is the way out? There is a way out. And later in the course, we'll talk about that. We'll definitely talk about that how can one carry out quick analysis so that you don't end up with this situation where you have failures. So you can design safe slopes without spending too many resources on that. So there's a way out. I'll talk about, that's the practical side of things. But practical side of things are fine, but you should be theoretically strong. And then you can talk about the practical side of things. How can we, make a shortcut? How we can make quick analysis? We'll talk about that. Okay, later in the course. Don't worry.